This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And if we're talking sports, that means there's no basketball on the KRAE airwaves. Our program being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30, your home for Jayco RVs, fifth wheels, travel trailers, and again, check out everything on the lot that Jolly Rogers offers today on Highway 30. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range. Oh, I'm telling you, that chicken tortilla soup sounds so good on these vocal cords right now. Also, too, they have delicious chicken sandwiches. They offer breakfast goodies for you 6 days a week, 3 squares, always at Chick-fil-A, corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Menards. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. My good friend AJ, and along with Pops Greg Miller. Tell you what, they got some select 18s on the lot that got to go. So go ahead and wheel and deal right now. Also, the 19s are out there. Why not wheel and deal, too, on a great selection of 18s and 19 Kias over at Kia Cheyenne on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank offering all of the banking services that you've come to expect through the years. Again, technology world, or if you're still old-fashioned like me, you just want to go on in and do the old-fashioned one-on-one service, check them out. Platte Valley Bank on Vanda High and at the corner of College and Pershing here in Cheyenne. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs with your doctor's prescription. Let Gene and the wonderful staff over there at Medicap Pharmacy take care of those said prescriptions, explain those medications to you. All kinds of goodies for you 6 days a week at Medicap Pharmacy inside, even a convenient drive-through, same location next door to Texas Roadhouse, Medicap Pharmacy. Lennox Auto Body over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto and Truck Repair Center with a plethora of bays. And again, too, the Auto Glass and Detail Center for your inspection awaits you over on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank, banking done the old-fashioned way, customer service always from Tim and the great staff there, Monday through Friday. You want to talk to them about their special CD rates that are going on right now over at First Tier Bank over Monday through Friday. Mondello's Pizzeria, which is directly across the street, First Tier, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. At 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons, is Mondello's Pizzeria. Paisan cuisine, always tasty, always delicious, always fresh, 7 days a week. Mondello's Pizzeria of Cheyenne. And Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Remember Marv's for those heating units that need some work right now. Don't freeze. We still got some cold weather still to come. So, again, let Marv's come on by and check out those heating units today. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. We get things underway with our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
NHL action for tonight. The Boston Bruins playing host to the St. Louis Blues at TD Garden. New Jersey Devils will be in New York taking on the Islanders. This will be at Nassau Coliseum instead of the Barclays Center. New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden playing host to the Chicago Blackhawks. Toronto Maple Leafs travel out to Tampa Bay to see the Lightning. Nashville Preds hosting the Winnipeg Jets. Anaheim Ducks, who are looking to come off a 12-13 winless game streak, looking to at least rebound against the Minnesota Wild in the XL Energy Center. And last but not least, the Dallas Stars at American Airlines Center taking on the LA Kings. That's what's happening NHL action for tonight.
Basketball split last night in the JUCO side with LCCC, the ladies winning against the CWC Lady Wrestlers, and it was the guys falling to the Wrestlers, especially with a really rough second half.
Which we'll get more into, again, second part of today's show, again, with the LCCC Coaches Show. Also, too, of local basketball, I'll do what our mind folks on the schedule side. Coming up tomorrow, myself, Chris Polton, live at Story Gym for Cheyenne East versus Cheyenne South. Again, it will be the Lady T-Birds and T-Birds taking on the Lady Fighting Bison and Fighting Bison of Cheyenne South. Again, it will be pregame 5:10. Tentative schedule, again, depends on the JV squad there, again, of what that game goes. So, again, tentative schedule 5:10, tip-off Again, tentative 5:30 with the girls, and then 7 o'clock tentative schedule with the boys. Again, live at least Story Gym, 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and video live streaming, as always, on Periscope and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel.
Halfway through the fourth period, timeout called by the Knicks as Washington on a 13-2 run. This game being played in London as the Wizards and the Knicks battling right now, and New York clinging to a 91-90 lead. Elsewhere in the NBA, it will be the Sacramento Kings. They will be in the Spectrum Center against Charlotte, Sacramento, and the Charlotte Hornets on tap for tonight. 76ers and the Pacers in the Bankers Life Fieldhouse. It will be the Suns and the Raptors at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. At the Pepsi Center, they find themselves now a game behind the Western Conference leading Golden State Warriors. The Denver Nuggets taking their 29-14 record, their 18-4 home record at the Can. They'll host the Chicago Bulls. And late tonight, at the Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, it will be the OKC Thunder entertaining the Los Angeles Lakers. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, Tea Master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient.
Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
With the new year here, the fun and excitement gets even better at Wyoming Downs with 2 Cheyenne locations in the Cheyenne Plaza and at the Outlaw Saloon on the South Greeley Highway. You'll find new simulcasting games, including All Canvas Jackpot, Cowboy Wilds, Jackpot Blaze, Splendor of the Sphinx, and a whole bunch more. Remember to get your player's card to enjoy triple points on Sundays, along with double points on Mondays, and also on Fridays and Saturdays, it's Mystery Moolah. So stop by today and visit Wyoming Downs in the Cheyenne Plaza at 3617 East Lincoln Way and at the Outlaw Saloon at 312 South Greeley Highway. For more information, go to wydowns.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, partly to mostly sunny and breezy. Look for a daytime high of 46 degrees. For tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance for rain and snow showers mixed. Our low down to 28 degrees. For tomorrow, Friday, mostly cloudy and breezy. We're calling for a daytime high of 34 with a chance of snow. And for Friday night, mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly clear up to midnight with our low dropping down to 20 degrees.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Perotti along with Nick Perotti, and we go to our first guest. and we are honored to have him back on our program once again. Kevin McKinney, UW Senior Associate Athletic Director at the University of Wyoming. How you doing this afternoon, Kev?
I am doing A+, guys. How are we doing in Cheyenne?
We are doing fine. We did a couple
Well, surviving the regular season
games.
basketball route like you are.
Yeah, we were doing hoops last night with LCCC men and women, so the vocal bules are a little raw here today. But other than that, we're hanging in there.
That's what you got to do.
You know, Kevin, and it kind of, as I'm thinking there about vocal cords, and I remember having that opportunity to sit down next to the two voices for the Wyoming Cowboys, you and, of course, the legendary one Dave Walsh. And I'm sitting there at the microphone in the arena auditorium. And, I mean, when we used to have big, boisterous crowds in there, and, I mean, even when we were, at Mendoza-line teams, it has to be a little disheartening. And I know how much you bleed that brown and gold like a lot of us do, too, but it has to be disheartening to see a lot of empty seats posing as fans right now, especially during Cowboy games.
Oh yeah, no, it's really hard. This is one of those periods of time that it's so great to be involved in this business, but there are some times where it's really difficult, and this would be one of those times. It's just really hard right now, and understanding that it ebbs and flows at some point, but. You never really plan or get used to something like this.
Alan Edwards is the guy everybody's going to look at, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And he's kind of, said, hey, here's the deal. I don't want to talk about it no more. And I appreciate it. I mean, it's like there's not much more he can dwell on it. They're hurt. They're beat up. There's only a few guys that can suit up and play, and he's going to put his best five on the floor. He's going to have a couple of guys hopefully come in and spell, and then when the guys come off IR, we're going to try to get them, back into MOS play. I mean, it's a simple drill, but this is probably one of the big anomalies in Coach Edwards' life as far as being an assistant coach and now a head coach. It's like this is one of those, either the moon, the sun, and Jupiter are all in alignment right now, but it's just a bad luck season for him.
Yeah, it is. It's just really incredible that all this has happened at one time. And even in basketball nowadays, you expect to have some guys out and injured for a period of time, but it was just one after another, after another, after another, and you're going, what the heck? When's this going to stop? We only have so many guys. So it is hard, and I think as a coach, you expect to have some hurdles and some challenges, but I don't think anybody could possibly anticipate having the kind of injury situation that Wyoming has right now. It's just it's uncanny.
Is the team picture just an X-ray? Is that what it is?
Yeah, and the team picture is not very big either. I can tell you that.
It certainly is. Again, this has been a rough season for the Wyoming Cowboys, but for you, Kevin, again, being front and center, seeing this team day in and day out, what are some of the positives that fans could try to take away from this team, whether it is young players getting those valuable minutes, again, some future stars that the Cowboys have for upcoming seasons? I mean, what are some positives out of this already negative season that Cowboy fans have to look forward to?
Yeah, that's the really good question, Nick. I mean, they do have some young guys who are getting all kinds of experience who very definitely would not have otherwise. And T.J. Taylor would be one. I think Trace probably would be another. There's several of those guys, but I've really taken a positive from Justin James. You watch these guys come in and you watch them mature and grow up, and he just matured so much, and he's a leader. He's trying his best to keep positive and keep the rest of the team going, but it's got to be extremely difficult for him. He certainly didn't expect this kind of situation, but he's been really, really a positive to me, at least, to see where he is now from when he came in here from Florida, 4 years ago. He's just, and that's, I think, what I've always enjoyed about watching these athletic teams is watching the kids mature, and he's just done a great job of that. It's a very difficult thing. It's your senior year, and you want the final year to go well, and it's anything but that. But I think you're right, Nick. The guys that might not have been, might not have gotten much playing time before this injury, this rash of injuries, they're getting a lot more experience and opportunity, and I think that will only help them down the road.
I want to key on one name that you mentioned there, Kevin, and that'd be one Justin James, a guy who does have NBA aspirations, attempted to at least enter the NBA draft last season. Again, about to leave the Wyoming Cowboys, decided to rejoin and finish out a year here with the Cowboys. As bad as this season has been, even though Justin James has tried to carry this team, tried to put it on his shoulders, is a season like this, does this season hurt that draft or at least that NBA aspirations for one Justin James?
I would say probably not. I think that they're looking for certain things. I'm saying the NBA is they're looking for certain things, and either you have them or you don't. And whether your team does well, it would be helpful certainly to watch him with a talented team or a successful team, but they're looking for certain skills and to watch him and see how he handles these young guys. I think that probably helps him a little bit, but I don't think the success of the team is necessarily a huge factor in how they evaluate.
You know, Kevin, when we go out on the recruiting trail, and I understand this, and I'm not going to be negative about it. I understand that we try to get the and I use the word 5 for 4 kids. They can, play 4 years and take up to 5 years to play. Take that redshirt year. But I'm kind of concerned that, and I guess because I'm doing a lot of traveling now and seeing a lot of JUCO talent across the tri-state region,
and including here in at least the state of Wyoming.
I just said the tri-state region.
I'm just saying.
Excuse me, Kevin. I have to teach my son.
I'm just saying though, again, of where we're under the theme of one state, one Wyoming. Again, we got a lot of JUCO that are nationally ranked programs here.
But I go back in time and I think back to the Benny Dees era where he had Dick Lean, Ray Jones. Ray Jones was a great recruiter. Oh, by the way, folks did not know anything about Ray Jones, but I'm curious why we are bypassing maybe that 3 for 2 kid coming to UW, because again, the talent level that I see, in a lot of the teams right now, there's some kids that are definitely D1 material that can step in and probably be an immediate fix, so to speak, for a Wyoming Cowboy team.
Well, I think that we'd all agree with you on that. That junior college players can really help you. There are some coaches, and I'm not sure that Alan Edwards is one of them. I think Craig Bowl is, but there are coaches who just really don't like recruiting junior college players for whatever reason that might be. I don't think Alan is in that mode. I think that they're going to have 2 or 3 or 4 players to sign after this season, and I would not be surprised if a couple of them were not junior college players, transfer players. I think that they're in a situation now where they just need some experience and need some guys who've been through some wars, and I would not be surprised at all that there won't be a couple down the road here. It's I think that you'd like to build your program from the ground with freshmen and have them mature into the program and have them for 4 years, but you can't always do that, and so I think that more than likely there will be 1 or 2 junior college players signed by the Cowboys for this next year.
So let's flip it away from the Wyoming Cowboys, because again, this is a season that is going to limp along. I guess that would be the easiest way to say it. Let's move over to the Cowgirls, and again, Joe Legursky finds himself in the middle of the Mountain West Conference pack. In any type of situation, it as well as anybody, Kevin. Got to steal 1 or 2 on the road there, and road gets a little tough sometimes where maybe the shooting touch goes a little cold once in a while.
Well, yeah, and that's certainly what happened to him at Logan. But you are right. At some point, you've got to have a good game on the road and steal a couple of those road wins. The Cowgirls are lights out here in the AA. We all know that. But if you're going to compete for that championship, you're going to have to win a couple on the road, and they're going to get plenty of opportunity to do that. But they haven't been able to do it thus far. And I think the Utah State game was a tough one on them. That was a game they thought that they could win. And, it was one of those days where nobody could make a shot. It happens, unfortunately. And they weren't able to overcome the poor shooting, and so they lose the game. But they're going to have to, somewhere along the way, win a couple of these road games if they're going to have a shot at beating Boise State for that championship.
It's interesting, too, under the Joe Legursky tenure as head coach, you have seen, wins improve. You see postseason activity pick up under Joe Legursky. But the thing I always look at when I see a Cowgirl game and I look at the recap the next day, I always look at attendance at the Arena Auditorium. That is something that, again, we're not UConn, we're not the Power 5 basketball schools, but I'll tell you what, in the AA, he's putting a lot of butts in seats, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you think about which you were around back in the day when there would be 400 or 500 people at Cowgirl games. And in fact,
that was in the MPG, right?
Yeah, we were playing in the Uniwyo back in that day and time. And he has brought this program along to where it has a very solid following and people very excited about it. So he's done a remarkable job with this program, and he's a Hall of Fame guy. He'll go down as one of the greats of all time for Wyoming once he steps aside. But yeah, he has built this program into one of the best in the conference. It has about as good a following as outside of New Mexico anybody in the league, and so. He deserves a great deal of credit for what he has accomplished here and what he's brought to Cowgirl basketball.
Well, hopefully Joe Legursky does not leave that program anytime soon. At least fingers crossed on this. And anyways, Kevin, at least final thought from me as we move on to other at least athletics going on at the University of Wyoming. Something that we can kind of say is a Power 5 program, at least a top 25 year in and year out so far, with a few standouts a part of their program is UW Wrestling right now. Again, just talk about of what they're doing this season that kind of continues the trend of what has been known as just cowboy wrestling.
Well, Nick, that's another head coach who deserves a great deal of credit because when Mark Branch came here, the program wasn't in the toilet or anything by any means, but I don't think it was perceived as a national program. And what he's done in his time here has brought Wyoming a national reputation in wrestling, and they're having a really good year. And he's the first to say that they've won. They're going to go for their 7th consecutive dual win on Friday night against Air Force, but. It's all about the NCAA tournament and how many guys you qualify and how you end up in the NCAA. That's when you get to be a national program, that's how you look at things. But he is pleased with the way his team has progressed, and he's very pleased with the fact that they are winning these dual matches. But it's all about the postseason, and it's all about the tournament. And so that Branch has had that experience, of course, when he was at Oklahoma State. He was a national champion. He understands what the bottom line is for wrestling, and it's what you do in the postseason. But he's got a squad that is just doing a great job. They've lined up with some national programs and won, and were successful. And I think he's very excited for how this season is going along, how it could possibly finish this year. So just really, really proud of that program. They're doing a great job, and you got to hand it to Branch because he recruited guys and got some facility changes that have really made the Cowboys a national program.
Kevin, we want to thank you so much for sparing us a few minutes of your busy day, and glad that we can catch up on a couple, 3 things that are going on over there at the University of Wyoming, and we'll catch you down the road, okay?
Well, anytime. You know that, guys.
All right, thank you so much. Kevin McKinney, UW Senior Associate Athletic Director at the University of Wyoming, joining us once again on Wyoming Sports Talk today, again getting the update on the basketball side, both men and women, of course. Thank you for bringing up the wrestling, too, Nick. Appreciate that. We're going to take a time out. We'll come back with more after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
Let First Education Federal Credit Union help make buying your next car a breeze. At First Education, you get competitive rates and deal with friendly local folks. Be in control by getting pre-approved and know what you have to spend before going to the dealer. Call 432-7400, go to firstedfcu.com, or visit us in person at 120 West Carlson Street with approved credit, membership eligibility required, federally insured by NCUA.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
For over 50 years, Capital Lumber Company has offered a full line of hardware and lumber selections. Plenty of materials, even for the do-it-yourselfer. So talk with one of the many experts today at Capital Lumber Company. Capital Lumber Company is the best in the region, and they are your true value hardware store. Lumber One in Cheyenne. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
Holy cow, what is Bury Jewelers up to now? It's Super Bowl sale time at your favorite jeweler.
Bury's entire inventory reduced 50 to 75%. Doors open at 11 a.m. Super Bowl Sunday, and you have 5 hours to liquidate the store. Every ring, necklace, and watch. Everything must go. Discounts are so deep, Bury's is practically giving away the best jewelry for next to nothing. Bury Jewelers, 2206 Del Range.
Bury Jewelers' famous Super Bowl sale, 11 to 4 Super Bowl Sunday.
Be there. Be there. When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
It is Wyoming Sports Talk today. We want to thank Kevin McKinney once again joining us on the program. You know, just quick thoughts again. I was a little shocked that Kevin did not say, hey, you know what? You know, that's not a bad idea that Coach might want to go for those 3 for 2. But also, too, I'm thinking as well, Nick, I look at Zaire Mateen last year from LCCC. He only played a freshman year, and then he was gone.
Now
he went off to
Northern Illinois.
Illinois.
But granted, at least he's going to sit the bench up there because they already have a talented.
He's there as a sophomore, and they could redshirt him if they wanted to. You know, so he would have.
I would think they.
I think
if not, if they've already have, because again, he wasn't anticipated to play much minutes up there in Northern Illinois, because again, they already have a guard in front of them that's kind of NBA quality, or at least NBA level player for the Huskies. So, and again, of what we're seeing so far, again, Casper College. Top 25 program. Sheridan, who will be in town, and again, this is on the guys' side. Sheridan will be in town. They just beat Casper, and they are a top 25
and
program.
WNCC, Western Nebraska Community College, as they are WNCC. The Cougars, Gervais Green. Guess where he's headed to? University of Nebraska.
Yeah. Yeah, right now
as a junior,
and again, those are 3 schools, 3 JUCO programs. Again, 2 in the state of Wyoming, 1 just on the fringe out there at Scotts Bluff, Nebraska. But here within this radius, where don't need to go to California, don't need to go to Texas, don't need to go to Florida. Yeah, top 25 programs, top 25 players right now who are competing against one another, competing against also 2 other top 25 programs, whether it's Snow College, Salt Lake Community College, again, College of Southern Idaho. It's a situation where you have these players, they've been through the wars, as Kevin mentioned. They know how to at least play college basketball. It seems to me it should be an easy transition for them to go, all right, you were here, now take that talent and do it right now for the Wyoming Cowboys.
And I understand the philosophy that you want to get them as freshmen and build them within the program. But you know what, too? There's also that possibility, and I'm not saying this to be mean, but if you, Nick Proetti, signed today with Coach Alan Edwards, what's to say he's going to be there by your sophomore or junior year?
Yeah.
What if you redshirt your freshman year and he's gone?
Yeah.
You don't know. That's the
and that's the gamble with any college player out there. Again, look what happened with Louisville of, hey, I signed on for Coach Patino, and now he's bye-bye.
But again, though, too.
And again, that's why you also have that option to transfer on out or, again, have those opportunities.
But if you're that JUCO guy that you're recruited by him, you know you got 2 seasons with him. And for the most part, because they're going to be sophomores. Very rarely are like I said, Zian Zaire transfer out as a freshman last year. That was one of those anomalies I hadn't seen before. Usually you went your freshman, sophomore year, you're out of there.
Well, I think on the men's side, especially for LCCC, it would not be surprising if we had a few other, at least kind of freshman products.
We'll let those chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even with LCCC, like I said, we've seen Western Nebraska Community College. We're going to see Sheridan. But we saw Casper College. There's a couple guys on that team right there, D1 ready right now.
And again, within your own home state, where why I brought it up of, hey, University of Wyoming trying to spout off this one team, one university, one state, one Wyoming, at least theme so far. Why not look into the local JUCO products, or at least who are playing in Casper, who are going through, again, this state to compete against other talent. And again, it's Sheridan, it's here with LCCC, it's Central Wyoming, it's Northwest, it's Western Nebraska, even going down south to Colorado, whether it's Northeastern, Otero, Trinidad. You have, as you mentioned again, in the 3-state area between here, Nebraska, and Colorado, you got a lot of high-level talent. Again, playing college basketball, as is right now, top 25 programs. Again, they're top 25 in the nation. That's all 50 states right now.
Well, and
we have 2 representatives here in the state.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And the interesting part of all this, though, too, again, with Alan Edwards, and I think you and me have been probably in agreement on this, that, you're going to get a pass on this season because of just, the
injuries and everything.
Yeah, but also, too, look at all of the young talent he brought in. And he knew the talent he brought in was all offensive-minded and did not know how to play defense, especially at the D1 level.
Well, even the offense is kind of soured so far this season of it. It's nothing too impressive.
That. But here's what's happening now to Coach Alan Edwards. Fans are not giving them a pass. They're just not showing up anymore.
Yeah, fans are starting to become a little rabid right now regarding of saying this is awful.
But again, and I think the media here in the state of Wyoming,
you would hope,
got to give them a pass. Understanding, we're understanding that, hey, you've come off these win seasons and against not great teams, but you perform well. This year, wow, nobody deserves what you're getting.
Yeah.
But if you come back next season, and I know you're not going to win just 4 or 5 games next year, you should win more, but also you're losing to Justin James.
Yeah, you're losing the
guy who's carrying the team right now
at this point in time.
And that's the problem I have with Wyoming. We had Josh Adams in there, a couple 3 years back. Yes, these are the superstar guys.
Yeah, Larry Nance Jr. as well.
I understand that, but the thing is, you can't have one guy carry a team. It's not LeBron. It's not LeBron James.
Well, and again, not in the college ranks. And again, not in Mountain West play.
You'll have your superstar in the team. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you got to have some support, and there is no support right now. Hunter Thompson, you're okay. I'm not going to say anything bad about you. Trace Young, you're young.
He's young, yeah.
Hunter Maldonado, he's been oft injured, and again, he comes in. He's going to be in for just a little bit of time. But the point is, though, here in Smallville, USA, which we are, our one superstar is not going to be able to carry the team through conference, through preseason, it just doesn't work that way. So,
and again, it's not that. Other than Nevada right now, it's not a powerful conference. It never. Again, Mountain West is not a Power 5 conference. So again, it kind of speaks levels of if you got the superstar who's carrying the team, trying to, and you're still struggling mightily like this through the Mountain West Conference. It tells you that the team's very bad. Team is, again, in very bad, rough shapes at this point in time, and it's not going to get any easier, any prettier, at least for the remainder of this season.
Well, I think we got a good indication in the
You have a good indication that it might be a troublesome year next year.
That's what I'm saying. We got a good part in the early preseason that this was going to be a rough year for the Wyoming Cowboys. Just
I didn't anticipate this bad. I figured it was a 500 team at best, but this is kind of that anomaly. Now, if it continues, if they are a 500 team next season, yeah, they're going to improve. This is kind of the bottom of the basement for the Cowboys. There's no doubt about it. But if we see slight improvement, a few added wins, they barely make it to 500 next season, then no, I don't give Allen Edwards a pass.
You're going to have to find, like I said, you're going to have to find the two players that can replace one Justin James.
And again,
because I'm saying right now,
I would
right
say
now,
hopefully that is your JUCO products.
But is he going to go JUCO? Who knows?
I don't know.
I
think
again,
after seeing this season, I think he has to. I think he has to. I think he definitely has to stop and take a look of going, I need some veteran talent. I need some leadership.
I need somebody who can step on the floor right now, who can take over, whether it's on the baseline, whether it's inside, who can shoot outside. We need somebody that can help right now.
But also, too, especially for the Casper colleges of the world, Sheridan College, where they are top 25 programs, are those players really looking at University of Wyoming going, I got better talents to go to the at least Laramie, Wyoming. Again, as you mentioned with the Western Nebraska product. He's going to UN. He's going to Nebraska.
I mean, you got established.
He's going to go play in the Big 20. He's going to go play in the Big 10.
I know, but you got established programs like at Creighton. You got the Montanas that you're going to compete with. The Idahos. Again, we're talking Boise, Idaho, Idaho State. They're handing out scholarships as well. Again, guys are going to go
UNC, CSU, CU down the road, Denver.
These student athletes are going, hey, I'm going to get my education paid for, room and board. I will go where, hey, I think it's the best fit for me. Also, too, some of the student athletes want to go where they can win now.
Yeah.
And where you can win now probably is west at Utah State, at the University of Utah.
UNLV.
You can go down south to UNLV. Can you win at Fort Collins? Don't know. Can you win at UNC? Don't know. But the thing is, right now, UW, as you look at it, you have to look through the forest, through the trees, and say, well, we're not going to win today. We're not going to win tomorrow. But tomorrow, I'm graduating.
Yeah.
So for that JUCO product who is coming out as a sophomore, time's going to be tight, and they might want to go where they can win right now. And I don't think the Cowboys are going to be built next season to win right now. My opinion only.
No, I don't think so. Again, of what indications are showing so far, it is going to be – don't anticipate that this team turns it completely around and shocks the world. I think of where we saw the 7th kind of seeding mark preseason for this team. I think you would probably see a repeat for next year of – that's kind of my expectations of it's going to – the Cowboys, if they stay healthy next season, a middle-of-the-road team. That's about it.
If that.
Again, as you're seeing other teams in the Mountain West kind of evolve themselves and get better. Again, New Mexico is starting to get back into prominence. San Diego State's trying to. UNLV as well, as they climbed out of the basement, they're trying to get back into prominence. Who knows what's going to happen with Nevada?
Don't be shocked that the Cowboys are a lower third team next season.
Possibly.
By the quote
again,
analysts.
CSU is trying to improve themselves right now, again, after dealing with what they had.
And again, with the Cowboys, they're young. They're going to be even younger.
They're very
young,
yeah.
I mean, you're losing a couple of veterans this season.
Yeah.
All right, we do need to take a timeout. We're going to come back with more on Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words.
Hello, this is Pastor Nathaniel Ensley with Blessed Hope Baptist Church in Burns, Wyoming, and I would like to invite you to listen to our weekly broadcast entitled Hope for Today, right here on 1480 KRAE, every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Our goal during each broadcast is to bring you a simple and short Bible truth that will be a help to you. Sure hope you can tune in. God bless you.
MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in both Cheyenne and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151. Cheyenne Urological has been the cornerstone of urinary care to Cheyenne and its surrounding communities for over 20 years, with doctors Bryant, Everett, Gajewski, and their highly trained staff providing top-quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence. Cheyenne Urological is now offering cutting-edge robotic surgery. So call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131 for compassionate, expert urinary care. That's 635-4131.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, partly to mostly sunny and breezy. Look for a daytime high of 46 degrees. For tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance for rain and snow showers mixed. Our low down to 28 degrees. For tomorrow, Friday, mostly cloudy and breezy. We're calling for a daytime high of 34 with a chance of snow. And for Friday night, mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly clear up to midnight with our low dropping down to 20 degrees.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. I brought up what you asked for, but that doesn't really tell me much, Nick. It just basically tells me the high school they went to. So I really can't help you out.
All right, never mind then.
Yeah, so just...
Good to know. Again, there's probably a way to find it, but again, you probably can't understand it anyways, though.
Well, I bring this stuff up all the time.
Anyway, so speaking of high school, as we will have high school basketball here on 1480 KRAE coming up tomorrow, 5:30 and 7 with Cheyenne East and Cheyenne South. Live over at Story Gymnasium, myself and Chris Polton on the call with that one. Again, video, audio, 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and Periscope in the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. So, Cheyenne East, they kept on winning yesterday as they were in action on Wednesdays for whatever reason why we're playing high school basketball on Wednesdays now. But either way, though, Cheyenne East victorious, as they should be. Again, Lady Thunderbirds still with one loss on the season. Same goes for the boys on that side. For Cheyenne South, they met up with Cheyenne Central at Story Gym last night, and Central kind of whipped on at least Cheyenne South for Lady Fighting Bison and Fighting Bison. So right now, it's going to be an interesting game coming up tomorrow night. They're at Story Gym. Cheyenne East, obviously the two teams clear favorites to win the state championship. They are respected in the at least polls so far. I do believe for Cheyenne East, the boys, number 1 in Class 4A. For the girls, they are number 2 just behind Thunder Basin. So it's going to be interesting.
I'm sorry, I had a cough there.
Oh, good. Glad.
Yeah, with the Cheyenne East Thunderbirds.
And again, you look at for Cheyenne South, at least the boys, if going off of last night's loss, they are 2-9. For the Lady Fighting Bison, they're 5-6.
This one could get ugly tomorrow for the Fighting Bison.
Yeah, for on the boys, for Jeff Bailey, it's not going to be a good reunion.
Cheyenne East,
it's not going to be a good reunion with Cheyenne East. Again, former East High, at least head coach over there for the boys.
You throw that out the window.
There's going to be some emotions. Let's be honest.
I understand that, but right now, Rusty Horsley's got the guys pointing in the right direction.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're just kicking butt and taking names.
Again, as I said, 11-1 after last night's win, as they defeated Laramie.
Yeah, I mean, they had a third quarter. They just pounded Laramie in the third period, then Asta La Vista. And then, the Lady Thunderbirds are playing pretty good basketball right now as well. And nothing against Lady Bison. I think, again, they're the work in progress.
It is a team that is still young. Again, for under Chad DeBryan, his team is still young. There are a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores on that team. Not many seniors, not many juniors. It's pretty much going with sophomore-related team, kind of what we saw last year at the Lady Fighting Bison, where they were all majority freshmen playing varsity minutes. So, again, 5-6 so far. They've improved from what they were last year. Again, I still believe that team is a dark horse that could surprise in regional.
They got beat by the Lady Indians last night. Lady Indians is not a bad outfit right now either. So, really, in the quadrant with Cheyenne East, Cheyenne South, Cheyenne Central, and Laramie, you don't hand the crown necessarily to East right now. Could it be Central? I don't know, but I think that a Lady Bison team could sneak up on you.
Yeah, again, right now, Laramie on the girls' side is the only team you can kind of write off at this point.
You never write them off.
You certainly don't, but again, they are sitting right now at 3-8 overall. Again, as they move 0-1 in the quadrant play, but for Cheyenne East, Lady Thunderbirds 13-1, Central High Lady Indians, they are 11-1. So yeah, again, you cannot crown either of those right here and now. For Cheyenne South, again, Lady Fighting Bison, especially with the double elimination, at least kind of format for regionals coming up in March. I still believe that Chad DeBryan has his team in the right direction. It is not this year that this team is going to be state tournament bound per se.
Never know.
You don't know. It could be a team that shocks. But for Cheyenne South, is what we said last year, what we'll say this year, and what we'll probably be saying next season for this team, if they can retain everyone is healthy, that is a definite team to keep a very good eye on. And again, where you're talking juniors, seniors who have had 3 years experience of playing quality varsity minutes.
Right.
That are going to be a very good outfit.
Not to dismiss Cheyenne Central on the guys' side, but the team I look for right now, and again, I've seen this for many years with the East basketball programs under many head coaches that have run that program where they were expected to do big and great things, and they did up until state tournament, and then they just, they wiped out. But this is the team that is built to go all the way.
Again, as you look at least through Class 4A of what Cheyenne East is doing, the only team that's kind of nipping on their heels a little bit is Sheridan, at least with the Bronx. Again, not sure if they were in action yesterday, but as of, standings from January 13th, Sheridan is 9-1 overall. So, again, they only have one loss. Another team also, to take a look at around Class 4A is Thunder Basin, who is 9-3
and
they
overall. Have a win over Cheyenne East up there in the Energy Classic. But that's back in December. That was then. This is now.
But again, as I think it's obvious that Cheyenne East, the Thunderbirds, barring some miraculous just surprise in the regional tournament, they will be in the state tournament. Now, what route is going to be? Is it going to be an easy route, or again, who are we facing in the state tournament for Cheyenne East? Right now, again, other than Sheridan or the Thunder Basin, and I'll even toss in Cheyenne Central at this point in time, it's pretty much.
I'm going to tell you right now, Nick, I have called a lot of Cheyenne East basketball.
I would just say, in my opinion, for East, it's very favorable.
Let me finish. And I've sat here and talked sports many years.
Well, hell, you even saw it last year. What happened with them and Kelly Walsh?
I know, but I'm just saying. They've brought powerful teams in, going up against the number 4 seeds, and they're going to the consolation round the next day. So I'm just saying.
I'm just saying we saw that last year.
I know, but this team is built right now.
It is
to go the distance.
I'm just saying, as of right now, on paper of what we're seeing. Again, we've seen plenty of games, or at least I have, and Chris has, of Cheyenne East basketball. Right now, it's looking very favorable that Cheyenne East should be your state champions. At least in March.
If I understand right, the Buell kid's coming back.
Yeah, and that's huge.
That makes them even more dangerous, already when you got the McCord twins out there, you got Oliver, you got Allmiller, much more. I mean, this is a good team. Like I said, and Rusty Horsley knows the drill. He's been through it on the ladies' side, so he knows, how to direct the team, because it's going to have its peaks, its valleys. So he knows how to get the team prepared as far as, okay, we're in conference play. There's 3 seasons. There's preseason, there's conference, there's postseason. So during the conference season, you got to, get seated high. First off, you don't want to play on that opening night.
No.
You want to take that night off, and play as less games as you can.
Yeah, make it the easier route.
Yeah. So, and like you said, you mentioned that the easy route. So I think this team right
again,
now
all depending on how this double elimination format, which is complete garbage. I mean, of why at least the WHSAA, why they decided to go for double elimination in the regional tournament is beyond just. I don't know what the thinking is on that one, because it's something that I discussed with you, something I've discussed with Chris, where it is a little unfair to these.
It's 8 teams now, Nick. It's not 6 teams anymore.
I get that, but I'm just saying now you have to defeat teams twice to get them on out. Where again, nothing against Cheyenne South and Jeff Bailey's squad, but here they are sitting right now at 2-9 overall. Could it almost take that role of a Jason Ficca philosophy of, well, I want you winning, maybe to get hot heading into regionals, and they do find a way to upset Cheyennes. Again, they know the Thunderbirds very well. They're going to play them multiple times. They could do that. It just seems a little, again,
the deck is
double elimination is questionable.
I don't think
the
deck is stacked against the top 2 teams, though.
And again, we're not sure of how this is going to be set up in the regionals.
The top 2 teams in the regionals, we're going to have that bye. They're going to be in.
You would hope so.
So the deck is not stacked against them. It's the teams that are 2, 3, 4. And that's how things are going to develop. And again, in the double elimination situation, we'll see how things
I'm just saying, if we had a
bracket.
double elimination, would Gillette of last year, who came in a very low seed in the regional tournament, who eventually, again, had to play in that early game.
I say that. We only had 6 teams last year.
I get that, but I'm just saying, would Gillette of last year, what they did, that unbelievable run to win on the guy side to get the state championship in this double elimination format, would they have been able to do that? I don't know.
Can't answer that because, again, it wasn't that format last year.
It feels like it spoils runs like that of potential teams like that, the lower seeds that come in from nowhere. Again, Campbell County, the Camels, no one anticipated them being the state champions.
Well, here's the thing that I see with Rusty Horsley right now. Rusty Horsley wants consistency from day one.
I think he's got it.
And that's how he builds championships. Consistency. Other coaches, and I think in the case, and I don't want to speak on behalf of Tag Lane, but I think in the case of Tag, hey, we're still building around Lovering. Yeah. It's going to take us a while. Maybe, by the end of this month.
My issue with Cheyenne Central at this point is, again, you're putting all the weight on Lawson Lovering's shoulders.
But last night there wasn't the weight on him.
I get that. And again, that is the positive direction that team needs to do, again, to compete with Cheyenne East and possibly shock the Thunderbirds is, again, you need to find answers, not just one Lawson Lovering. Yes, he's going to be that clutch guy for you. We know that. There's no doubt about it. But you need to find a Burke. You need to find possibly the Storbo twins, or whoever that may be, to come in and be at least help him out.
And I think last night they got a little bit of that. Again, it's against Cheyenne South. It's not really the great litmus test, but in the situation of Central, they may be that team in late January, early February, where they start making their run. It might take them a little while to make that run to get ready for the state championship. But in case of Rusty Horsley right now, it is consistency from that first game all the way to the last game. Hey, one last thing here, and I know we got our LCCC coaches show coming up here. First on deck, we will have Brian Ortmeier, the head coach of the Lady Golden Eagles, who were victorious 78-72 last night over the Lady Rustlers of CWC. And I do believe he'll have Haylie Anderson in the Clearfield.
I don't know why you asked it with a question. We know
the Clearfield, Utah product. She will be in also talking with us, and then Jason Ficca will run the table at 4:30 for the guys and talk about last night's loss in the upcoming game against the Sheridan Generals. So we'll have our LCCC coaches show coming at 4 o'clock. But I do want to go to baseball.
Why?
Well, a couple things. And I was at the coffee this morning with my buddies, but I'll say the big news that came out, and to be real honest,
not a surprise.
I'm not shedding a tear over this. Rocky fans, if you're shedding a tear, okay, fine.
He was your shining star of your bullpen.
Oh, no, he was not. Get out of here.
I mean, when he came back healthy, he certainly was. Again, that bullpen was complete trash.
I would take Sergio Romo over him any day.
I'm talking of staff of the Rockies. Sergio Romo was not a part of that bullpen.
I know,
I'm just saying of shining star of the garbage fire that was the bullpen of the Rockies last year. Ottavino was that man.
He went 6-4 with a 2.43 ERA. He was a
look at
guy.
Look at the other bullpen options you had last year. They were complete trash.
Well, anyway, Ottavino decided to join DJ LeMahieu in New York. So
with the Yankees, not the Mets, but how about
DJ's with the Yankees. So is Troy Tulowitzki.
Folks might be under a rock and don't know.
It's the Rockies of the East now, as Ottavino agreed today to a 3-year, $27 million deal.
Does that bolster the Yankees? It's an okay
they're
move.
They're spending a pile of cash to beat the Red Sox right now, though.
It makes sense. Why wouldn't they? Again, right now, the East, at least AL East, of who's favored at this point in time is, it's got to be the Red Sox. You're defending World Series champions. And I think, obviously, for the Yankees who have that capital, you got to be aggressive, and that's what they're doing.
Now, think about their bullpen, though. This is what you got to give the Pinstripers some credit. Again, I'm not an Ottavino fan, never going to be an Ottavino fan. I don't care that he left the Rockies, okay? Yeah. But the Yankees now boast closer, Aroldis Chapman.
Hey, he's a fireballer, but he can get you in issues.
Dylan Betances and late inning specialist Zach Britton.
Yeah, Britton, that was a big issue.
Who agreed to a 3-year, $39 million with the Yankees earlier this offseason. So you have your bullpen pretty solidified. You can go either with a port-sider or you can go with a right-hander.
Yeah.
And
right now for the Yankees, again, making all these moves, is it enough for me, in my opinion, that this team is going to up in Boston at this point in time? Again, Boston, who's kind of stayed pat? Not really.
Well, the Yankees offensively,
they're getting closer,
pat, though,
they're getting closer at this point in time to up-inning Boston, but they have not signed that guy of going, whoa. All right, now it's the Yankees control the American League. The Yankees have not done that so far on these moves. Again, Zach Britton, quality, answers their bullpen issues, but it's not enough to say, all right, now you're taking over that AL East top spot right now. You are the favorites to win that. Not yet at this point in time.
But here's the deal, too, and I misspoke on the Yankees offensively. They have, I think, improved their offense with DJ LeMahieu being added.
Absolutely.
And also, too, then it's down a little bit with Troy Tulowitzki because Tulowitzki has not adjusted well.
We don't even know what Troy's going to do for them.
Well, he's going to be at shortstop until Didi Gregorius could come back and play.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm just saying, once he gets back, then what's going to be the role for
then
Troy?
you have a DH role. I know you also have Stanton that also can do the DH role. You got Judge, you got Stanton, you've got Gary Sanchez.
Don't get me wrong, you got a loaded team there, but it's still that loaded team, even with those pieces, again, with Stanton, with Judge. You got them to the playoffs, but you still can't beat your rival.
I don't really know that their starting pitching's all that good.
No.
I mean, Sonny Gray,
he can be great.
He can be, but he hasn't been.
No.
And then you also have Sabathia, who's
and again, he's kind of been up in the air of does he want to even return? I mean, is he going to give it up? Who knows what's going to happen with Sabathia?
Now, real quick before we go to the break, this is interesting. So we talk about the Yankees on the east side, on the left coast. The Giants haven't done nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking less than a month that they report to Scottsdale, and they have not done anything.
Well, Giants have not done anything. Arizona has done unloading. Colorado has done pretty much nothing.
Except guys leaving.
Well, and again, at least with the Daniel Murphy signing, still, it does not bolster them. It does not move my meter.
A second baseman for a second baseman.
And that's about it. But again, the Padres have kind of stand pat. Nothing has really done a whole lot in the NL West.
The Dodgers have been kind of quiet.
They've been quiet. Well, again, they're trying to figure out what the Machado thing.
Well, Machado ain't coming back to the Dodgers. I think that's a done deal. All right, we got to move into the 4 o'clock hour and get ready for our LCCC Coaches Show brought to you by Laramie County Community College. We will be back with hour number 2 after these words on 1480 KRAE.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local. It's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And Wyoming Sports Talk Today, hour number 2, being brought to you by Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Sweet D in the Greenway Commons. We also want to thank First Year Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Lennox Auto Body with the main auto and truck repair center on Dunn Avenue. The Auto Glass and Detail Center you'll find over on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle, next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank with 2 banking locations, Vanda High Avenue and the East Side location at the corner of College and Pershing. Kia of Cheyenne. You'll find Greg and A.J. Miller and the entire crew over on Nation Way, the home of Kia of Cheyenne.
I don't know why you're looking at me for that one.
Well, I was hoping you'd help me out since you bought a car there.
They're over there by the refinery.
Chick-fil-A. No, don't insult Kia of Cheyenne. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A.
I'm never insulting them.
Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range. Again, delicious eat 6 days a week and 3 square meals over there at Ray and Cindy's Place right across from Menards. We have Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30. Taco John's of Cheyenne. Great night tonight to load up on a 6-pack and a pound. It's Wednesday. You don't want to cook. No, it's Thursday. You don't want to cook either.
You don't even know what day it is.
Wednesday. I know. I'm lost in days. I'm old.
Even when you don't know what
I'm having a senior moment again.
Well, now I know what you're doing for dinner.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Okay. And you give me some money.
Oh,
all right.
nice.
Taco
you
John's with a plethora of locations here in Cheyenne. And we got a program underway with our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
NHL action for tonight. The St. Louis Blues in Boston taking on the Bruins at TD Garden. You will also see the New York Islanders take on the New Jersey Devils at Nassau Coliseum. Rangers in Madison Square Garden playing host to the Chicago Blackhawks. Toronto Maple Leafs traveling to Tampa Bay to see the Lightning. Nashville Preds at Bridgestone hosting the Winnipeg Jets. The winless Anaheim Ducks, as it's been a 13-game winless streak for the Anaheim Ducks. They will go to Minnesota to take on the Wild at XL Energy Center.
I'm glad you're wearing that shirt.
Well, this is the Mighty Ducks.
Come on, let's
this
go.
is the Disney Ducks. Anyways, though, Dallas Stars, they will be at American Airlines Center playing host to the LA Kings. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight. And before you get into NBA, do want to remind folks, coming up, we will have high school basketball. Myself and Chris Bolton live at Story Gym. Cheyenne East on both boys and girls side will take on Cheyenne South, the Lady Fight Bison and Fighting Bison at Story Gym. 5:30 tip-off for the girls, and then tentative schedule 7 o'clock for the boys. 5:10 tentative schedule pregame here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and video live streaming as always on Periscope and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel.
There goes the ratings. All right, let's.
Did you not see how many viewers we got last night for the CWC game?
Who was calling the game? Right here, back.
Who was operating that thing?
Oh, that's what. Yeah, you can operate a camera real well. All right, NBA scoreboard. The London contest today. Wizards outscoring the Knicks in the fourth stanza, 24-11, and the Wizards pick up a 101-100 decision over the Knicks. On the slate for tonight, the Sacramento Kings will be on the road. Sacramento visits Charlotte in the Spectrum Center. It will be the 76ers and the Pacers in the Bankers Life Fieldhouse, Indianapolis. Suns and the Raptors in the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. The Nuggets looking to rebound back after getting whooped on by the Golden State Warriors the other night. Nuggets in the can at the Pepsi Center hosting the Chicago Bulls. Lakers and the Thunder tonight in the Chesapeake Energy Arena in OKC. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find the store already. Grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM, and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures, makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, The Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball, local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. It is LCCC Coaches Show Day, brought to you by Laramie County Community College. And up first, Brian Ortmeier, who will be joined here in a little bit by Haylie Anderson, the freshman from Clearfield, Utah. And we will get a chance to chat with her. Coach, first off, for those that didn't tune in last night, again, got to hold home court in Region 9 play. You did so. It was a battle last night with the Lady Rustlers, and to their credit, 4 ladies that were on the floor with 4 fouls, and they still were going hard after it until one by one they started fouling out towards the end of the game. But I'll tell you what, that one was a nail biter, and I again, we kid with you at times, and even Coach Ficca, this is where you guys make the big bucks. But I'll tell you what. Key timeouts that you had to call, key plays that were made, key fouls called at the right time.
Exactly. And, I said it last night in the pregame and after the game. Game plan was to get out, push the pace, push the tempo, see if we could get some of their guards in foul trouble, trying to wear them out and getting them to reach. And sure enough, we were able to draw, fouls on the right people at the right time. So, in that respect, we were able to kind of get them to fall into what we were trying to do game plan wise. But to their credit, they're a good squad. It's hard to believe that they are 0-3 so far in our region play, and they've lost some close games too. And again, and you look to their non-conference, they've lost to some really good teams as well. So for us, it was a great win. Considering missing starting point guard, there's always a chance for a rhythm, to kind of lose some rhythm with something like that happen. But we had girls step up. They played really well together and got the job done.
Picking up the slack, Ariel Stevenson off the bench. Jakia had another solid performance. A young lady that we're going to talk to in a little bit. Haylie also stepped up too and canned some big three-pointers for LCCC. I thought one key play was Ariel late in the fourth quarter where she went to the bucket, actually took herself underneath the standard to throw it up, but drew the foul and actually fouled out, I think it was
number 2.
Latu.
Yeah, and that was a huge play. And that's why we kept saying push the ball, push the ball, push the ball. And we knew that you could see there in the first quarter she had a tendency to try and she was trying to block every shot and got her in foul trouble early, and then again was tried to make that play to get the block there late. And Ariel did a great job of attacking the rim and getting to the free throw line.
Talk about it, at least in that contest early on, it had a little reminiscing of what we saw up in Casper against Casper College, where they were getting out hot, finding some three-point range out there. But what was different again? I do believe a timeout called eventually, but what was kind of the talk, or at least the defensive change to kind of put a little pressure and at least silence them from behind the arc?
Well, the first 2 possessions of the game, they start off with an offensive rebound on the first one. They kick it out. They hit number 2 on the top. She hits a 3. Their best 3-point shooter. They come down the second time. We kind of over-rotate out to the wing, watching the playback today, and then they swing it up to the top. And sure enough, we got a hand in her face. She hits the second one. So it's just kind of we should have finished the first possession and had to stop and been pushing the ball. She gets open on the second one. So, she starts the game on a 6-0 run. We leave their best shooter open twice. And once we were able to kind of make some adjustments, we went back to the zone pretty sparingly. We used it a few times, but you get to a point we just had to lock down, play man-to-man. Girls did a great job of making that adjustment. And then they only hit 3 of them the rest of the way. So that adjustment paid off pretty well. And the other side of it was, we get down 15-2, and I think the zone, it slowed us down a little bit. But then once we started hitting the ball to the right spots and attacking, we settled in and played really well.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, I had thoughts last night. I think when we were talking about Jay Johnson of Casper, the Lady Thunderbirds, when Latu came out there, and it was like, don't leave this gal open. She's going to murder us all night.
Yeah, it certainly felt like that. It's something that you mentioned at least beforehand, Coach, but do want to at least address it with Gabby O'Connor did miss due to a concussion that was sustained up in Casper against the Lady Thunderbirds. Kind of give us a little update on her. Will we be able to see her coming up this Saturday against Sheridan?
She's doing well. She's gotten through that part of the process where she's been symptom-free. So we're just kind of waiting to have the go-ahead. It's kind of more of a day-to-day thing right now, kind of what she can handle and how she feels. So, excuse me, we'll get a pretty good feel based on how she does tomorrow. Again, we'll try to kind of ease her into a few drills, and if she can handle it, there's a good chance that we could see her on Saturday.
And I know Megan is a fantastic trainer, but is there an actual team doctor, or do we take her to Cheyenne Regional Medical Center to have her looked at to get the okay? How does that all go in the protocol?
Yeah, we have a partnership with the regional center here in town. So once they get entered into the protocol, there's certain steps that they have to take to be able to get out of the protocol process. So the big one is being symptom-free, and then from there, again, if she can handle being in practice, and there's a couple other steps to it too. Again, we'll see if she can play on Saturday, but positive outlook for sure for next week.
All right, I'm gonna go from positive to negative side. Last night in the game, we're still getting worked inside, and whether we're getting out rebounded or we're losing on second, third opportunities. I talked with Courtney after the game. Courtney, I thought was really stellar for you last night on the defensive side. I know a lot. I can look at Haylie. They battle inside, but sometimes it's just a matter of 2, 3, 4 more inches taller than them.
Yeah.
Jakia Wells, she plays like she's a 6'5" kid inside. I mean, she just refuses to be the small 5'8" or 5'9". But the thing is, we're still having some problems shutting down that inside, especially with the bigger kids.
Yeah, and until you can go out and fill those gaps and recruit those physical bodies that know how to rebound, we're just going to have to continue to send as many people to the boards as possible. We want to run, we want to push the ball, but everybody's got to commit to the rebounding. So again, if it's a 50-50 ball that does get tipped, hopefully we've got somebody there that can go clean it up if it does get tipped out. So, again, it's just something that we're probably going to have to continue to scheme to double team some of the post players. But, again, if we get everybody to the boards, we've done a pretty decent job of keeping teams off. And the other thing, too, is with us having a smaller, quicker team, on the opposite side, we got to continue to crash the offensive glass as well because we can take advantage of that speed trying to get into gaps. And then, hopefully that offsets some of those putbacks that they might get occasionally on an offensive board.
I think the game that we had last night against Central Wyoming College Lady Rustlers, I thought that was a good comeback game for us after the Lady Thunderbirds, because the Lady Thunderbirds were big.
Yeah.
They were good outside shooters. We'll give them their due. They worked us inside, but we had our moments of, to shine in that contest.
Yeah.
But CWC, big, physical, can shoot from the outside. I thought it was a good win for the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles last night, but it was one that, it's not an easy night every night you step on the floor, especially in Region 9 play.
Yeah, and what I was probably most impressed about with our girls, we didn't even really shoot the ball that well. We put up 78 points and we shoot 31% from the field, and but we got easier shots in transition. We hit some threes. We got to the free throw line. So, again, with us pushing the ball, wearing them out, getting, again, to the bonus quickly in the quarters is really what helped us get through the night. And, and again, not every game is going to be perfect. You're not going to hit 10 to 15 threes every single night. Again, the previous game, I think we had hit 12. And the night before that, I think we'd hit 10. So, again, every night's not going to be a great shooting night. So you got to find other ways to manufacture and be able to get a win.
And every night's not going to be an easy night, especially coming up this Saturday. Seeing Sheridan Lady Generals coming into town, something that at least we picked your brain on. They were seeing Casper College and eventually lost that contest. But Sheridan College, a good outfit. Very good. Again, above 500 overall. Again, having at least
pretty similar numbers.
Yeah, similar numbers to what LCCC, but just give us a little preview of what to expect from the Lady Generals.
I think they're going to look a lot like what we saw this past Wednesday with Central Wyoming. They've got a couple bigger players. I wouldn't say that they're totally dependent on like a post game inside. They're going to be able to. They're going to work more outside in, so they're going try and set more ball screens in attack, and they're going to try and do more drive kick stuff to, again, some of their better three-point shooters. But, again, they've been kind of inconsistent. They've been a little up, a little down. Again, it's one of those things where they lost 4 or 5 in a row to some familiar opponents that we've seen, and then, again, bounce back with a win over Western Wyoming by 1 point. So when they're shooting the ball, just like any team, they're going to be really tough to play against because they've got good size and speed. But, again, I think there's some things that we can do to limit that.
Final thought, and, again, good offensive numbers last night by some players, but the lady that we talked to on the defensive side, Courtney Walker, again, she's been struggling scoring, but she has been pretty much consistent on the defensive side. Last night, correct me if I'm wrong, I think 5 steals she had in the contest. You have to be a little more satisfied with that defensive play every time you have number 4 on the court for you.
Yeah, and 4 or 5 steals, great night from her. And again, you have to find other ways to be productive.
She's got a good anticipation
on
a pass, or she's got a good nose for the ball.
She puts herself in the right position is a good way to put it. Great IQ in terms of trying to read things from the backside. So again, if they try and skip it or throw a bounce pass, she's usually in a pretty good spot to try and get that steal. So and that's what you got to do. If the shots aren't falling, you got to find other ways to be productive. And that was a great effort from Courtney last night.
Coach, good luck to you. We'll talk to you Saturday afternoon. It will be the Lady Golden Eagles and the Lady Generals of Sheridan coming up right here on 1480 KRAE. On deck, we'll have Haylie Anderson, the Clearfield, Utah freshman, coming up right here on 1480 KRAE.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
Winter driving in Wyoming. Are you prepared? Winter storms strike quickly across Wyoming's high plains and the mountains. When they do, driving conditions can deteriorate rapidly and become very challenging. Make sure your vehicle is ready for the elements and you have an emergency preparedness kit available. Driving on slick roads, always remember slower speed, acceleration, steering, and braking. Also turn off the cruise control and always buckle up. Ice and snow. Take it slow. Know before you go. For travel info, call 511 or online at wyoroad.info. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds. MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in Bow, Cheyenne, and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Brody inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, partly to mostly sunny and breezy. Look for a daytime high of 46 degrees. For tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance for rain and snow showers mixed. Our low down to 28 degrees. For tomorrow, Friday, mostly cloudy and breezy. We're calling for a daytime high of 34 with a chance of snow. And for Friday night, mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly clear up to midnight with our low dropping down to 20 degrees.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Our LCCC Coaches Show being brought to you by Laramie County Community College. We get to talk to one of the freshmen on the Lady Golden Eagles, and she is Haylie Anderson, Clearfield, Utah. Where's Clearfield, Utah?
It's like 30 minutes north of Salt Lake.
So is this your first time away from home, obviously, after graduating from high school?
Yeah, it is. It was a big, jump from high school, definitely.
So Coach Ortmeier has a chance to check out your performance on the basketball court. He chats with you and makes you an offer you can't refuse. Tell us a little bit about that recruiting process. What made you come to Laramie County Community College?
It was a really stressful process for sure. I had a lot of different schools looking at me, but I think the number one thing that made me come here was that it was close to home, and then I really liked Coach O. He was a really nice guy, and he made me feel comfortable and made it seem like a home atmosphere.
What are you majoring in at LCCC?
Right now I'm majoring in health science, but it may change. Not really sure yet.
It'll eventually change.
Everybody should just come to LCCC undeclared. That would be the easiest thing. Go ahead, Nick.
Just get your general studies out of the way. It's as simple as that. Talk to us about differences between the high school play and then what you're experiencing again as a freshman right now in the JUCO ranks playing in Region 9 action. What are kind of noticeable differences between the two?
It's a really different pace of basketball. It's a faster pace, and there's everybody is good. In high school, you have maybe one person per team that's good, but on these teams, everybody is good, and you have to just be good.
Well, and again, too, you're starting now, and there's 3 young ladies on there that started last year or had ample time, and then of course Gabby was injured. Are you all starting to get the feel of each other? You know where to be at on a certain play, whatever the case may be, or where to throw the pass to find that open person. Are you starting to just read each other's minds on the court?
Yeah, I think we've become a lot closer. We've been practicing together for a while now, and I think that us, all of us, the starters, are just working really good together right now.
Talk about that again for you, Haylie, coming after the Christmas break. You at least embracing now the starting role where you were coming off the bench for Coach Ortmeier. Again, what was that kind of like in your mind process of now I got to start for this team as a freshman? I was it kind of almost like you felt like you almost had to take the world on your shoulders, or just talk to us about at least embracing that starting role?
It was a little bit stressful, but the girls just really made me feel comfortable, and they really helped me. And I know that all of us are good players, and we all can handle our own, so it wasn't that bad.
How was it working with both Carly, who again started every game last year for LCCC at the point, and then Gabby, who was injured, and now she started. Of course, she went down with the injury. But what's it like playing in the backcourt with them? Are they there to help you? Because again, Gabby saw all the games last year. Carly was playing in all the games, but are they helping you adjust to the JUCO basketball life?
Oh yes, they're great players, and they help me a lot, and we all work really well together, and I think that's.
So when you played Casper this past weekend, and you were talking about when you were on the high school team, and it was like 1 or 2 players, and then especially when you played other teams, there's teams that are not really good. But when you played a high caliber team like Casper, are you kind of like in awe when you see what kind of basketball there is here in Region 9?
Yeah, it was definitely eye-opening. There was a lot. Everybody on that team was good, but I think that we definitely can hang with them, and I think, yeah.
Looking at the future for yourself, Haylie, again, after you were done at LCCC, hopefully after your sophomore year, and hopefully you were able to continue your basketball career. You talked about kind of keeping locale, at least play style coming out to LCCC. Is that something where you would like to at least kind of retain, whether it's D1, D2, D3 school? Are you kind of looking at staying in the same area? What is the future kind of holds for you so far?
I'm not really sure yet. I'm really keeping my options open. I'm really probably looking forward to just coming back here and just not going too far from home.
Are you a fan of basketball in general, whether it's NBA or whether it's college? I mean, or
even WNBA?
Or WNBA. Are you a fan of basketball?
A little bit. I don't watch it that much, but I like going to games in person, NBA games.
So you would be close to obviously Salt Lake City, Utah Jazz, or I don't know if you've had a chance to run down to Denver yet and catch a Nuggets game. Are you a fan of the Utah Jazz?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of the Utah Jazz.
See, that's rare. We've had ladies on here that had not been really fans of the NBA. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
So yeah, Utah Jazz fan. All right, good for you. Real quick here, we got the Sheridan Generals, the Lady Generals, coming up on Saturday. Preparation, and again, especially for football or baseball, you have different ways to prepare. Obviously, you go out there and you shoot from beyond the arc, you shoot from free throws, but also do you have a chance to look on video to see who's going to be in your face? Or are they going to run a zone? I mean, do you do that type of preparation, watch film to get ready for your next opponent?
Yeah, I like to watch film on my next opponent, and I like to look at the stats so I can know what everybody's what points they score and how they score them. So I'm just prepared.
All right. Haylie, well, thanks so much. I know you were a little nervous, and you passed the litmus test, so you're welcome back here anytime.
You got your one this season, but next season we'll go a little bit, at least a little harder, a little rough on the questions, and again we'll challenge your mind.
You never know. You never know. Coach might bring her up on a post-game show. She might have that one night where you hit 30.
Where that's live as well too.
Yeah. Live and on video as well. All right, Haylie Anderson joined us here on our LCCC Coaches Show. Thank you again to Brian Ortmeier, head coach of the Lady Golden Eagles. We will have Jason Ficca coming up, as we will talk Golden Eagles basketball after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
The Saratoga Lions Club and the Platte Valley JCs, in partnership with the Carbon County Visitors Council, are proud to announce the third annual Saratoga Ski Joring Races at the Buck Springs Track in Saratoga, February 9th and 10th. Racer registration is Friday the 8th with races on Saturday and Sunday. This event is sanctioned by the Ski Joring USA. General admission to the races is $5 per person. Kids 12 and under are free. Buy your tickets at the gate. Chauncey Williams and the Younger Brothers Band will be performing live on Saturday night at the Platte Valley Community Center. Buy your tickets in advance. For more information, go to www.saratogaskijoring.com.
Did you know High West Energy, based in Pine Bluffs, has provided low-cost, reliable electricity to Laramie County for over 75 years? Our recipe for success is simple. High West Energy is an electric co-op. Our customers own us and share in the profits. That's why High West Energy has grown to serve 10,000 customers in 3 states, including 20 subdivisions surrounding Cheyenne and F.E. Warren Air Force Base. Keeping energy affordable for 75 years, highwestenergy.com.
A Touchstone Energy partner.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Cowgirl fans, Cowgirl basketball returns to the Arena Auditorium on Saturday, January 19th to take on New Mexico. Tip-off is scheduled for 2 p.m. Single game tickets are on sale now, or you can pick any 4+ games this season and save with a Cowgirl basketball mini plan. Get your tickets today at GoWIO.com or call 307-766-7220. We'll see you in the Arena Auditorium on January 19th as the Cowgirls take on New Mexico.
Hop into the KRAE Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480KRAE.com.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480, KRAE.
Our LCCC Coaches Show, brought to you by Laramie County Community College, continues on with the men's coach, Jason Ficca, who joins us. And, you know, a rough night last night. I would say the first 20 minutes, obviously, for LCCC was good on the floor, and then things kind of fell apart probably like midway through the second half. But we were just talking off mic about all the variables that are going on with
missing
the program.
Pieces, injuries.
But real quick, I mean, for you being the head coach, late night last night, and then you're back to work again today. And same with the guys. The guys are on the floor too. So I mean, you had 7 healthy bodies out there, and I'm sure legs were a little rubbery when they were on the floor today.
Yeah, we didn't work out. We worked out for maybe about 30 minutes this afternoon, but we did. If their legs were rubbery, it's probably because we did a 3-hour video session. We started at 10 a.m. with video and got done about 10 minutes after 1. So if their rubbery legs was probably from sitting in the classroom for 3 hours plus. But,
When you watched the video and you watched CWC last night, what things, again, and you and Coach Salisbury, you've been in this game a long time now. What things do you stop and say, okay, let's run this back again. We did this wrong. Was it one of those type of sessions where, hey, I got to stop it? Nick, you did this wrong last night. Is that what you do in those type of sessions?
Yeah, I mean, this was, to go back to what you said earlier, I'll come back to this particular point, but, you mentioned that, somewhere in the middle of the second half that game fell apart. I thought so too. I thought, looking back or thinking back, like, oh, that second half. That was a tie ball game with under 6 minutes to go at 69-69 when David hit a 3. That was like 5 minutes to go. And then we got outscored 24-12. I mean, it was more than that. We got 18. We outscored by 18 in the last 5 minutes. So I was shocked when I watched the video. I was like, it ended so bad. I thought the whole second half was just bad. But to go back to your last question, there was a consistent theme for everybody, and it was just bad fundamental defensive basketball, and that's my fault as the coach, having them ready. We've gotten away from some fundamentals that we were, I think, pretty good at in the first semester, and we're talking about the things that anybody can do: stay in a stance, jump to the ball when the ball moves, maintain vision, and just fundamental defense. And we were horrible at it across the board, every single person on our team. So it was a constant theme. That was one of the themes we watched, and then I tallied as we watched video, watched every single possession at least once, how many times we tipped the ball instead of grabbed the ball, and how many loose balls they got versus us. They got 21-5. 21-5 loose balls. And so, those were the two themes that we saw. It was just really bad fundamental defensive basketball. I think we've gotten, as coaches, or me as a coach, I'm just kind of in game prep mode, and I've taken for granted, I think, working on the fundamentals and keeping up with those. I'm just, okay, who can shoot? Who do we need to play this way? What do we need to switch? What do we need? And we've gotten away from just good old-fashioned, just get down a stance, keep your hips down, maintain vision, move when the ball moves. We just gotten away from that, and it was really, really bad last night. And that's me.
And I'm glad that he brought up that point. And again, you as kind of alluding to it of just how close that game actually was. Again, the final score does not indicate of where, again, LCCC at points had that contest, or at least looked like they were in control, and then just kind of let it just fall out of their fingers. Now, not to make excuses at this point in time for this team. Again, you did have only 7 players available, again, with one Cameron Vincel on at least of the bench, Hayden Collier as well, too, to mix in and out with your starters. But was it a case of fatigue there in the second half? I mean, is there anything to blame it on of just they're tired, or was it just kind of mental miscues?
No, I mean, it was bad preparation by the coach. I feel like we had enough bodies, we had enough players. Yes, more would have helped, and a couple of the guys that are out, Kyle and Courtney, they're both pretty high energy defenders, especially Kyle. I mean, we've missed him quite a bit on the defensive end, but it's still my job to prepare the players that are healthy and ready to go. And I look back on my week, and I didn't have a good week. I was, I had a bad day Tuesday. I told the guys, like, Tuesday, I don't know, I was out of it. I was really not. I wasn't sick, but I wasn't a good coach on Tuesday. I was there, but I wasn't mentally into it, and that's, I think, a direct reflection of why we looked so flat defensively, for sure, in that game. We were pretty decent offensively. We scored 75 points, shot a decent percentage, and scoring 75 with our leading scorer being held, 9 points, and the average is 20, I think, something like that. Other guys stepped up, and that's what we said today. We're getting the offensive production and the help from other guys that we weren't getting in the first semester. Now the fundamentals of defense have gone bad. If we can put those fundamentals back in with the guys that are helping us out, Manzi and David and Courtney had a 19-point game. So we're getting the offensive help we need.
Two names that you mentioned, again, not to cut you off there, but two names you did mention that we did miss in last night's game, Kyle Cabs and also Courtney Dean. Courtney Dean out with a sickness, or at least an illness. Give us updates of kind of time frames. Will we see Courtney Dean come back for Saturday's game? And then also, what about Kyle Cabs?
Yeah, I don't know about Courtney to get out of bed today, I don't think.
Chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, he I don't know. He's got whatever's going around. So we'll see. I don't know. We got 48 hours or so until game time. But that if you don't get out of bed on Thursday,
it's pretty serious.
Don't know if you're gonna be ready to play on
But
Saturday.
if he comes to you, coach, and says on Saturday, coach, I want to play, but I mean the guy's going to be kind of weak, for a couple 3 days, not doing anything.
He may. I'm sure he's not, hydrating very well, and hopefully he is. I mean, that's his instructions, and I don't know if he's eating well. So, I mean, even if he's knocked out the sickness a little bit, how energetic will be? That's a great question. So,
I mean, you don't need a warm and fuzzy on the bench. Hey, you go in and spell somebody. I mean, you need somebody who's going to come in there and be an immediate impact.
Yeah. So Kyle Cabs is, he feels good. We're going back to an injury from November 20 that has not. It's just been lingering all for 2 months now. It's been lingering, and hopefully now we've got it diagnosed. There's I'm no physiologist, I think that's the word, or doctor for certain, but there's a tendon down somewhere in his ankle that's strained, sprained, or partially torn. I'm not exactly sure, but the MRI revealed it. X-rays weren't revealing it, and he wasn't showing any swelling. So finally, an MRI revealed it, and so we're keeping him under wraps here for a couple 2-3 weeks. We think we're trying to progress him with more. He's doing non-contact stuff, and he feels good. So if it's that way, I think by the end of the month, hopefully he's full go. Here in the next couple weeks.
You mentioned Tyrese last night, where they put the clamps on him, and welcome to Region 9 basketball. I'm sure Tyrese hasn't seen that much pressure on him throughout the course of the season. But I mean, they ganged up on him whenever he had the basketball last night.
Well, they were in a zone the whole night, and so I mean, people have tried to guard him man to man pretty tight like that, and we've been able to shake him loose, and he's been able to shake himself loose in a lot of cases. But they were in a zone, so they always had someone there. And then that was obviously a big part of their game plan, was to always have someone there, because they let David Appelgren roam totally free at the free throw line, and which nobody's really seen him make that shot. And he made it consistently last night. And I think David's progression as a player has been unbelievable. We had this scrimmage, the jamboree we played at down in Windsor in October. There was a lot of coaches there. I mean, there's been 100 D1 guys there, and they all kind of, I don't know, he's not. And now, the phone's ringing off the hook, and
we'll talk about a turnaround for a player like David, where, again, that Casper game up there where he had a rough go. He was getting bullied, and it just has a phenomenal just return game here in town against CWC. Again, did have a height advantage over the wrestlers, but he took advantage of it, and again, he made them pay.
He did what Division I coaches want to see a 7-footer do against undersized guys. He just played over the top of them. But what's great for me is his touch on his shots. The whole first semester, everything was a line drive, and I probably said it before on this show. Is he was shooting darts with everything, just line drives. It didn't matter if it was jump hooks or jump shots. And one thing that we do almost daily is we have a shooting machine with a big tall net, and the guys have to shoot over the net. And I think that has really helped David get more arc on his shot, because his mechanics are good, but he was just line driving everything. And now that he's getting arc on those shots, his free throws are going, his jump shots going, His stuff around the basket is going. I mean, his progression. We talked to a guy today that saw him in prep school last year and said, yeah, he was 7 foot, but he was not productive at all. He's like, they didn't really use him much, but
well, now he's becoming that all-around player for you again. He's already phenomenal on the defensive side. We know that, but now at least having that offensive addition to him, he's becoming that dual threat.
Then he knocked in that three. I mean, if I put that clip on YouTube, I mean, I'll get 25 calls in an hour. You got a 7-footer, make a three? Well, we'll take him, so.
Pretty sure he hit that three all the way back in Stockholm. That's how far back.
Well, we're going to take a time out here. We'll talk a little more about David Applegren after these words on 1480 KRAE.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
Come away with more than you expect with the new 2019 Kia Sorento. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and with Kia Sorento, you could leave the competition in the dust with a long list of standard features that are usually optional in more expensive rivals. Some available features include lane keeping assist, wireless charging, 8-speed automatic transmission, and 3-row 7-person seating. Come in today and see all that you can get for the money at Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
At Platte Valley Bank, we understand that you have a busy life, and that means you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, and mobile deposit, so you can bank how you want when you want to. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank. Community banking for you.
There are a lot of things that can go wrong with your vehicle, and most of it is a minor problem. And John at Shine Auto Repair and Service knows the right way to get you back on track. So with temperatures heading south, now's the perfect time to winterize your car or truck. This can be done with a simple oil change, maybe a tune-up, checking the thermostat, brakes, and shocks. It's the little and important repairs that Cars has performed on all makes of vehicles now for over 25 years to keep you motoring along in any season. For an appointment, call 632-0498 or stop on by at 604 West Lincoln Way. Shine Auto Repair and Service, open Monday through Friday. Winter driving in Wyoming. Are you prepared? Winter storms strike quickly across Wyoming's high plains and the mountains. When they do, driving conditions can deteriorate rapidly and become very challenging. Make sure your vehicle is ready for the elements and you have an emergency preparedness kit available. Driving on slick roads, always remember slower speed, acceleration, steering, and braking. Also turn off the cruise control and always buckle up. Ice and snow. Take it slow. Know before you go. For travel info, call 511 or online at wyoroad.info. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, partly to mostly sunny and breezy. Look for a daytime high of 46 degrees. For tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance for rain and snow showers mixed. Our low down to 28 degrees. For tomorrow, Friday, mostly cloudy and breezy. We're calling for a daytime high of 34 with a chance of snow. And for Friday night, mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly clear up to midnight with our low dropping down to 20 degrees.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
LCCC head coach of the Golden Eagles, Jason Ficca, join us on our LCCC Coaches Show here in the second half. Thank you again to Brian Ortmeier along with Haylie Anderson, joined us on the first half of the hour. Coach, you were talking about David Applegren, and I want to go to him one more time. You mentioned, again, at 7'1", and immediately I thought of guys that height, the Wilt Chamberlains of the world, the tall guys that always seem to have that line drive type of shot, even when they're 15 feet away. But I'm starting to see with David Applegren, I'm seeing more now, instead of that line drive, I'm starting to see that touch shot. Is this a guy that obviously seems to be very coachable for you and Coach Salisbury, but is this a guy that is working on that shot day in, day out?
Yeah, no, we do a fair amount of shooting in practice, like I said, with the shooting machine and shooting over the net. I think that has really helped him. David is typical of international players that we've had a lot. We have a lot now. We've had a lot over the years. They like to be trained, and American players like to play. American guys can't wait till the coach leaves the gym so they can play pickup. International guys want the coach to come in the gym and train them. Like, why would we waste our time playing pickup? Let's get the coach in here and have him train us. So, David, I think, is just been waiting for some training. And, like I said, I think it was off air here. One of the things we've been doing lately with David is taking him to the other end and just having him play one-on-one with Hunter Severe, just beat him with a pad and I think that helped David last night, just have a lot of confidence in going up over people and
get that
focusing.
Get that repetition in him of, again, this is what you're going to see, especially now as we get into the thick of Region 9, especially coming up this Saturday where you're going to see another top 25 program, another big team in the Sheridan Generals.
Yeah, Sheridan's a really good team. They beat Casper last night by 10. I heard that at one point in the second half, Sheridan was up 30, and Casper went on a 22-0 run to get back in it. And then Sheridan won by 10. So, that's a pretty good performance. Sounds like. I saw the box score, and Sheridan shot really poorly from the free throw line. I think they missed. They went like 14 for 29 or something like that from the free throw, under 50%. So to score 90-some points and win by 10 over a good team like Casper, shooting that poorly from the free throw line, they must have done a whole lot of other things right. I'll start watching Sheridan tonight at home and start developing a game plan, and then we'll implement that game plan tomorrow afternoon.
It's not a cry or a sense of urgency right now for the Golden Eagles, and again, too, another top 25 program comes to the rack. You're used to it. You've been on the other side as well, but here's a situation where the Generals come to town, and again, your guys it doesn't faze them, so to speak, who their opponent is. They know it's 5 guys across the way, and they got to make sure that they get less biscuits in the baskets than we do. So, I think more for Nick and myself and you as we talk, hey, this is a 17-1 team. I'm sure they know that, but, hey, they know that they got to win home court, and you've said that numerous times.
Yeah, at this point, we've seen all types of players. We've seen great guards. We've seen great bigs. We've seen great wings, great shooters. We've seen it all, and Sheridan has a nice collection of all that. But we've seen it. We've played a quarter of our schedule has been against nationally ranked opponents, and by the time the season ends, we'll, assuming the teams that are in the, I don't see Sheridan or Casper dropping out of the top 25. By the time the season's over, we'll have played 8 games against nationally ranked opponents, 8 out of 30 games. So I think that's a pretty strong schedule. This will be our 6th game against a nationally ranked opponent in our 20th game. So that's 30% of the games to this point against ranked opponents. So, at this point, rankings, it's not. I don't think there's any ooh and ah about the rankings. It's respect for your opponent and okay, what can we do? I believe there's a way for us to beat them, but that way has got to start with what we worked on today: sound, fundamental defense. We got to get down in a stance. We got to maintain that stance, and we got to move when the ball moves, and then we can work from there. but there's not a whole lot. It doesn't matter what you do strategically, if you switch or you double team or what. It doesn't matter what you do after that. If you're not in a stance and you're not maintaining vision on your ball and your man, and you're not moving when the ball moves, all that other stuff doesn't mean anything. And that's what we saw last night.
Well, I was going to mention that because the moves that the Rustlers made, especially, and they didn't have a lot of bodies either last night.
Yeah.
I mean, this was very few players that had a chance to play last night. Yeah. But I remember Briscoe and Nelson coming off the bench. I think they did more damage to the Golden Eagles last night than the starting five. So, yeah, Simmental is a good player, Tisdom's a good player, Rottweiler. But I thought those two gentlemen coming off the bench last night provided more hell inside for your team, and your team, Stefan could only do so much. David could do so much, but I mean, those guys were active. We weren't active last night. Does that sound more like we were more passive?
Yes, and we were definitely passive, but I watched, of course we watched them too, and there's times in the video we watched today where I would stop the video and say, look, guys, their defense isn't a whole lot better than ours. That's not like there was some instances where I'd say, look, here he's doing it this way and it's working. There's times where I'd stop and say they're doing it, just like we're doing it. They're not doing it very well either. If any team, either team wanted to really get down and play some great defense last night, it wouldn't have been a close game. And it ended up not being a close game. But for 35 minutes, it was a close game. And I would say out of those 35 minutes, we led 25 of them. And we held a lead almost the whole first half. I think they took maybe a 1-point or 2-point lead at one point, a couple occasions in the first half. So it's disappointing, if you fancy yourself as somebody who's going to be in the top half of the conference standings, you can't drop that one at home. But I told the guys today, I said, you got a chance to get it back basically with the home win against Sheridan, because Sheridan Casper, I think they clearly look like the top two. I'd be shocked if they don't finish in the top two. 1, 2, or whatever order, I'm not sure, but those guys are going to win more than 50% of their road games, I think, both of them. So if we can get a home win against Sheridan, okay, that's maybe a home loss for some other teams when Sheridan comes in, because Sheridan's going to go at least 4-4, maybe 5-3, maybe 6-2 on the road.
Looking at the Region 9 North and exclude LCCC, early litmus test thus far, is everything kind of going according to Hoyle what you suspected how the conference was going to be?
No, kind of, sort of. I mean, and there was no surprise that Sheridan and Casper would be up there, would be really good. I haven't seen Gillette really, but based on what they've done in previous years, they're started off 0-3, so that surprises me a little bit. I think we all believed Eastern Wyoming would become better. They went on the road and got a win at Gillette last night, so I think they're 2-1, and they haven't. This is a new coach this year, so in the previous 3 years, I think they only won one conference game. So they've doubled that. They doubled, so they're obviously much, much better. It looks like to me that, there's Casper, Sheridan, and everybody else is really close. Northwest, who we beat here last week, Northwest went to Western last night and won by a bucket on the road. So everybody else seems to be pretty even when you get past Casper, Sheridan.
So, again, Saturday, when the Generals come to town, we're looking at 7 players suiting up again.
Probably. I mean, Courtney Dean, like I said, we'll see.
But what I'm alluding to, and again, the minutes played, David, a lot of minutes last night for him, Tyrese, Daquan, those guys, and Stefan gave you great minutes throughout the course of the game. And we talked about this in the pregame show, they called a lot of timeouts as well last night. So is that something what you have to do is, again, the philosophy was, if I remember right, kind of try to preserve for the second half more in the first half?
Yeah, I think I took 2 in the first half, and I think we ended the game with 1. Just I thought there in that last 3 minutes we might have a chance to make a little run back at it, and so I was saving it. It didn't materialize, but yeah, I mean, we'll need to use timeouts strategically tomorrow, and we just need, again, both teams can only play 5 guys at a time, so I think there's some things we can do and some problems that we can pose to them, and I think if we will carry the attention to defense, to fundamental defense, into tomorrow and into Saturday that we put it on the court today, we can neutralize a lot of their advantages. So I mean, there's a way for us to win. We, as a coach, I have to find it, and then players have to execute that way. But it's we're not playing the Golden State Warriors. I mean, we're playing a bunch of 19, 20-year-old kids. They're just like same 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids we have. So it's 5 on 5. If you played 10 on 10, we'd be in trouble.
All right, Coach. Well, we're looking forward to catching up with you again Saturday afternoon. It will be the Generals and the Golden Eagles at the Rack. All right. Well, with that all being said, once again, thank you to Jason Ficca and Brian Ortmeier. Again, Haylie Anderson also joined Brian Ortmeier, our LCCC Coaches Show for today. We'll have it again for you next Thursday afternoon, 4 until 5. I want to remind you, coming up this evening, our final night of our Golden Age of Radio Theater, we'll have Sherlock Holmes ×2 from 8 until 9, Suspense Theater from 9 until 10, the best of the 50s and 60s on deck right here on 1480 KRAE. So before we say adios for tonight, Nick has one final thought, this date in history.
One final thought. It is January 17th. We'll go back to the year 1988. I'll leave it up for the both of you on this one. But a local, or at least a regional team competed in the AFC Championship game, and this infamous play happened back in 1988. January 17th, a local team within the region.
Which would be the Broncos.
Yeah, but what was the play and who they defeated?
Was that against the Browns?
There you go.
And that would be where Biner fumbled?
Something to do with that.
It was the fumble, trailing 38-31 with a minute 12 left in the AFC Championship game. The Browns' Ernest Biner fumbled at the Denver 3-yard line, sending the Broncos to their second consecutive Super Bowl appearance.
And that's interesting, too, because Marty Schottenheimer coached both years that the Broncos beat the Browns, and he never went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all done for today. Wyoming Sports Talk today. Again, hoops tomorrow, high school-wise, as we'll be at Story Gym. You, Nick Peroletti, along with Chris Polton. It will be Cheyenne East and Cheyenne South. So we'll have that over at Story Gym. Basketball ×2, girls and boys, right here on 1480 KRAE. With that being said, have a good evening.